What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. This video, I think we're just going to do a little bit more of the how-tos on the C10 cab here with the priming, sanding, and I wanted to show kind of how to do a little bit of the filler process on it as well. But first I wanted to go over a couple things, why I haven't been posting as much content as I'd like to with regards to more progress on the C10 behind me. One is because of this little mess right here. This little girl I got about 2 months ago, and she has been taking up a substantial amount of my time. So she's been a good dog so far, but this is one reason why it's been busy for me, to say the least. The second reason is because this time of year, spring, I'm pretty meticulous about my yard. So I like to have a nice yard, and for those of you that have to deal with that, you know that this time of year, it's when you're probably the busiest with taking care of the lawn, taking care of the weeds and everything else. So that's another reason why I've been busy. And then the third reason, which I'm sure affects most everyone out there, is the cost increase of everything. Everything from your food, gas, to car parts. So while my wages haven't gone up like most of yours, cost of everything else has, and it kind of inhibits me from purchasing and doing a lot of stuff that I want to on my truck, on my own personal stuff. So while I will try and do as much content as I possibly can, you know, there are factors that affect that. So I'm going to keep the content coming as much as possible for all those of you who are interested in watching, you know, the stuff that I do. But just be aware that, you know, it might not come as fast as some of you would like. So, hey girl. Yes. So, anyway, puppies, trucks, shop, you know, back to the normal business. So in this video, I'm going to, again, go over some more of the sanding that I've done in the truck, and also do kind of a how-to on the lightweight glaze filler, which some people consider it kind of like a spreadable primer, you know, for filling those very thin spots when, you know, you don't want to spray some primer. But I'm going to go over kind of the how-to on the applying of that for those of you who'd like to know, and go from there. So without further ado, as you can see, I have applied that 3M glaze on the top and the middle of the cab here, and I've knocked it down with some 220 grit on about a 12-inch board. And as you can see, high spots and all the low spots are pretty much evened out now. It's hard to tell in the light, so I'm not even trying to show you, but just try and take my word for it that this piece is pretty smooth now. It's ready for one more coat of primer, and it will be ready for paint. Down here, I've done most of the sanding on this top portion, and most of it on this piece right here. I've got to go over it a little bit more, but I'm going to drop down my grit on that to 320 to hit it some more, just because it's getting really low to the, we're really close, I should say, to the high spots. So I'm going to be going down in grit to that as I prep that for my last coat of primer. In the meantime, I've gone over substantial amounts of the cab, sanding it, getting it ready for that last coat of primer, and then hopefully it will be good enough for paint. So that's kind of the progress that I've done on the truck the other day, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I applied that glaze on top of the primer, which is a pretty simple process, but you know, for those of you who want to know, want to see how it's done, I'm going to show you right now. So with regards to this rocker panel that I've got going on here, as you can see, it's fairly flat. I haven't finished sanding it. I just wanted to hit it because I wanted to see if there's any high and low spots that need to be taken care of. And these are fine. Those will sand out. This will not. That's a little bit of a low spot. And on this side, I've got the same thing going on, just in a little bit different area. Right in the middle here, we've got a low spot right there. So that spot is gonna have to be taken care of as well. The rest of it, again, will sand out and should be perfectly smooth. So I'm going to apply the filler over those 2 spots. The rest of the cab I think will turn out fine. Those are kind of the main last 2 spots that are kind of problem areas. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to hit this with some 220 to scuff it up a little bit coarser first, and then I'm going to also hit this with 220 to scuff that up, and then I will show you guys the next process, which is mixing the filler and applying it. Okay, so I've got this area scuffed down with some 220 sandpaper, and I only did just this small little area because that's all I'm gonna apply the filler to. I'm not gonna do the filler to the whole panel, doesn't need it. So I also marked kind of where the spot was on both sides, just as a guide to where I'm gonna put the filler. And one thing I will say, it's a really important step on this, is you need to use a really good wax and grease remover and wipe this down with a lint-free cloth. I will mention that you want to use an actual wax and grease remover for this and not a reducer or a thinner. It's kind of critical. Something like this where you're gonna apply, say you're gonna do the next coat of primer, or say you're gonna do the next coat of body filler. Anytime you sand something down and you're putting something over the top of it, whether it be body filler, primer, or paint, you always wanna use a wax and grease remover. It helps the next step bond better. So very, very important. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get this cleaned up, and I'll be right back. Panels are now clean, and now it's time for the filler. And again, this stuff is, I use, it's a 3M 31180. They call this Platinum Plus Finishing Glaze. I've had really good experience with the stuff. It's a 2-part, so you have this and then a little bit of cream hardener. And this stuff that I use, again, for on top of primer for their very, very thin applications. And I really like it because it goes on smooth without pinholes. Working time is fast though, so you gotta be quick with it. I would say max working time is about 5 minutes. And I really haven't had much difference in working time with even using less hardener, so it's quick. So anyway, I'm just gonna use this old fender to work on, so I can kind of do this and show you guys at the same time while using the camera here to do it one-handed. I just use these cheap mixing Bondo, whatever you want to call those things. We don't need much here because it's going to be a fairly small repair on both sides, and I guarantee I'm actually mixing way too much of this stuff as it is. So I've never been good with that. Some guys can use a very thin amount or a very small amount. I always end up using way too much. But to give you an idea of what kind of the ratio is on this, you just want, for this much, you just want to, actually that's probably too much hardener, but you just want a really tiny bit of hardener with that. I think it says 1.5 inch stripe for a 3-inch diameter circle, so that's definitely plenty of hardener. You just want to get this stuff thoroughly mixed in. You don't want to have any of that blue showing. And now, just like that. And there's enough on here, I can hurry and do the other side. Sorry about that, guys. I gotta move the camera hard to do this and film at the same time. Hope you guys kind of got that, get the idea. Back on this side. Then usually you want to let that set up for at least 15 minutes. You can kind of tell if it's tacky, it's still too wet. And also if you do it too soon, it'll plug up your sandpaper. So it's how you can tell if you're sanding too soon. If it's plugging up the sandpaper, wait a little bit and then try it again. Again, I like these Durablocks. They're really rigid and they work really good for keeping nice flat panels. So I've got 220 on this Durablock and I'm gonna go ahead and hit both sides with this and try and knock it down a little bit. And then I'll eventually end up with 320. I'm gonna do this, go to 320, and then it'll be ready for primer. And again, second coat of primer. Final, I want to end up with 600 grit, but this is going to get in our coat. Don't need to go that fine. So I'm going to go ahead and hit both sides, and then I'll be right back. Fast forward about 10-15 minutes, and that lower rocker is sanded. And obviously, you know, have to sand around the edges and the corners and stuff like that, but just hit this quickly to show you guys. I also hit a very light guide coat again on top of it to make sure I got everything, but that panel is pretty flat. And this side over here, same. As you can see, you know, the filler really is just a very, very, very thin coat after you get it sanded down, and it's just enough to make it flat so you don't have to have a thick coat of primer. So again, this panel is good. This is the epoxy we talked about in the earlier video, so you don't want to sand down below that. But yeah, I'm happy with it. So happy with how that turned out, and hopefully gives you guys an idea on how to apply the glaze when you're doing your body work. Or again, if you miss a spot and you've already got the primer on and you just have to do a very thin, excuse me, very thin, we're talking, you know, 1 millimeter or so thickness, that 3M glaze works great for that. And so I'm gonna go ahead now, finish getting this whole thing sanded out, and then I'll be back with another video on it when it's back in primer again. Just because you guys probably don't want to see the sanding process. It's about as boring as it is to do it. It's probably the worst thing to do in body work, but you have to do it to make a straight vehicle. So anyway, so that's where I'm currently at with the C10, and I'll definitely post more videos on this, keep you updated with what's going on, and try to do some of the how-to videos. You know, a lot of you know how to do all this stuff or have a basics on it. I just like to show my take on it again. So thanks again for watching. Appreciate you guys tuning back in next time. If you want to subscribe too, that would be great. You know, maybe someday I actually get paid for doing this stuff on YouTube. But anyway, thanks again for watching. There'll be more to come. See you next time.